Hello and welcome to the Healing Ceilings Artist Interviews, where we interview artists and inspire others to live life beautifully. Join us on this Healing Ceiling movement.
Hello and welcome. We have Mary Zammit with us today. Hello, Mary. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Claire. Thank you for having me.
Mary, with all of your artworks, they're quite soothing. At least I find them very soothing. What would you call your style of art?
Realism, but I really love to sort of, expressively capture the light and the colour of outside and try and bring that inside.
For you and your art journey, have you always wanted to be an artist?
For me, I sort of grew up in quite a creative family. I was always sort of encouraged with creativity. We did a lot of traveling. Yeah, through my younger years, I did a lot of drawing and sketching. And then, in my teen years, sort of picked up the paintbrush and sort of fell in love with realism. And because of our travels, we were around a lot of the landscape and that a lot. So I used to paint that a lot. And now I've sort of moved into working with oils for the last couple of years, which has been really fun to learn something new.
I've never painted with oils. That's always been on my list of I'd love to learn. I don't know how I got into acrylic, stayed in acrylic, and have never moved on. But there seems to be this real depth with oil. Yeah,
there's kind of like a real translucency in the colours. So when you build it up, it just has this really nice sheen to it, I've found. I still like working in acrylics. When my children were younger, that was sort of the easiest medium for me to use. So
the quick dry, don't touch kids.
The quick paint it, I can run out, sort with the children out and come back in for 10 minutes.
I've noticed that you've been doing a series at the moment. Are you working on anything currently?
At the moment, I'm just about to start another collection of sort of larger paintings of the seascapes around Adelaide in oils.
Because you paint predominantly on linen, don't you?
Yes, I have done for the last couple of years. You
use that as a feature in your art with the textural touch. It's beautiful.
It is really nice to work on, having it sort of peeking through in the background.
When it comes to art, and then even with Healing Ceilings, why Healing Ceilings? What made you decide that you'd like to be part of the artist group of Healing Ceilings?
Just hearing about it, I really connected with it. The fact that art, I believe, really does bring healing. Even with myself on my journey, just the act of creating is so healing for me. So I really wanted to connect with other creatives that had that sort of the same vision, to work together to bring that to other people.
Do you personally find nature that source of, obviously it's your inspiration, but when we're talking about healing, do you find that when you go into nature, does it change anything in you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those moments out in nature, that's like what I try and hopefully capture in my work, is that moment in nature and then bring that inside and sort of, capturing that to share with others. But it is very healing for me, being in nature.
Your pieces definitely bring that stillness and calm. Like there's a pause. You definitely bring the outdoors indoors. I love that you're part of the team, because the kinds of works that you bring, of course, with patients lying there for such a long time. There was one particular patient that I met when I was unwell, and she was just saying how much she felt like she was in jail and she wished she could be outdoors. And so just to bring the images of outdoors, to bring nature in, is just, for me, I think it's just so special. But then your works do that, and they do that in such a calming, soothing manner. So
thank you.
I love that you're on team. So if people were to find you, if they were to look for your art, where can they find you?
Well, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, just Mary Zammit Art. And just my website, which is just Mary Zammit.
Do you have any hot tips or words of advice for any future creatives out there?
It's sort of, everyone says it, but I mean, just not to compare with others. Like, everyone's life journey and artistic journey is so different. I just feel like comparing when someone's at a different level or a different part in their life is just, it kind of takes away from your own practice. So I would say just to take one step at a time, and eventually sort of all adds up.
And I think you're right, also different phases of life, like what you can manage in one stage with a particular age kid to another phase with maybe teenagers, I think, yes, you're right. We can do different things in those times. And you're right, we shouldn't be comparing. It's so hard not to though, isn't it? Because art is such a vulnerable thing.
Yes. Yeah, it is hard not to, definitely. Yeah, it's definitely something I would say I've struggled with over the years. But it's good to look at others for like inspiration of being like, oh, maybe one day I can, you know, work towards getting to that place. Yeah.
You know, for yourself, you know what your signature style is. Like if you look at, you go, okay, that's mine. Yeah,
sort of, getting there.
I found that actually quite a tricky journey from when I first started painting to even to now. What actually says me? How do we know what, and you try all the different styles and in the comparison also like try to see what works and what doesn't work. I think it might have been a documentary on Avicii, and he was just saying to copy all the greats, and then from that, then you take what you found is you, and then you express it in a different way.
Yeah, it's like they're saying you're like still like an artist.
Yeah. So good to speak to you. Thank you so much again for joining me in this interview, and onwards and upwards, I think, with Healing Ceilings.
Definitely, very excited, and thanks so much for the chat, Claire.
If you would like to hear more from us at Healing Ceilings, then head to our website, healingceilings.com.au, or our social media, which is Healing Ceilings Australia. You will find us there. LinkedIn, you can look for me, Claire Rackley, and I will direct you to wherever you'd like to go. But we want to make connections, so follow us, like us, tag our things. Let's continue this Healing Ceilings movement.